Hello friends, you are welcome again the listening empire. Whatever work you are doing while being distracted or semi-distracted, that work will be done by some robots, software, or machines in the future. If you won't have the skill to do deep work, then thousands of people will be ready to do this multitasking work at a cheap cost than you, due to overpopulation and unemployment. Microsoft company of Bill Gates and J.K. Rowling's book series of Harry Potter are famous all over the world. By the way, there are many programmers and writers. But why only the things of these two people are famous all over the world? Because the technique used by Bill Gates and J.K. Rowling to build Microsoft company and Harry Potter book series. That name is deep work. These days this technique is very rare that people use it. What is deep work? Now you may have the question that what is deep work? If we talk about work, then it is of mainly two types. One deep work and another is shallow work. Shallow work is done with distraction. Like talking while doing office work, busy on mobile while taking in actual, listening to songs while working on a project. This means all the work which you called multitasking is shallow work in actuality. With shallow work your productivity becomes low and time wastage gets more. Scrolling again and again on Facebook and Instagram. Checking emails, replying to messages. These all are shallow work. This means even if you do all your work for your whole life, no improvement will be there in your life. While another is deep work, which is an activity done by professionals in a distraction-free environment. Deep work is a little hard but important intellectual work that can be done all time without distraction. In deep work, you require a distraction-free environment. That increased the thinking process as much as it is very valuable and hard to replicate. This means no one can steal and copy you that skill. This means your work will be unique and powerful by deep work. If I tell some examples of deep work, American writer Mark Twain used to work in such an isolated room at his home that his family member had to blow the horn to call him. Microsoft founder Bill Gates also celebrates Think Weeks 2 times a year, in which he works on thinking about new ideas and reading books by living far from the people. The professor of MIT and award-winner novelist Alan Lightman goes to his small island, where there is no internet and mobile. You might think that our work gets finished by being distracted also. Then what is the need for this deep work to have no distraction? Why we need deep work? Here I tell you what the work you are doing while being distracted or semi-distracted. That work will be done by some robots, software, or machines in the future. If you won't have the skill to do deep work, then thousands of people will be ready to do this multitasking work at a cheap cost than you, due to overpopulation and unemployment. This means your shallow work will be automated in future in some way. Now let me explain to you with the help of a concept why the shallow work is so bad. That concept is attention residue. Let you are working on a project with your 100% focus. And now you started checking the notification come to your mobile suddenly. But when you come to your work again, then in 100% focus, your 20 to 30% focus goes to mobile. And only 70 to 80% focus comes back. Means that 20 to 30% was your attention residue that left in your previous work. And to make 100% focus again, you need much more time. And this way in multitasking you do many things at once. While switching from one task to another, your much more concentration is wasted. Due to this, you never work with your 100% concentration. If you want to make rare, valuable and unique to yourself, then you just have to learn to do deep work. Because in the coming time, due to digitalization, people would have less than 8 seconds of attention span. And if you would have the ability to do deep work for hours, then your position will be a rare valuable professional who has the capacity to produce world-class quality work. The author says that in the coming tough economy, mainly 3 types of people will survive and go ahead. First, who has so many funds and can invent in big companies. Second, who can understand and work with artificial intelligence, machines, and technology. Third, who are work in their field. Obviously, the best suitable for all out of these 3 is to become an expert in their field. And you will become an expert in your field when you have the ability to do deep work with full concentration. So let's know how to do deep work in actuality. Types of deep work. Cal Newport has told us 4 techniques to do deep work that you can choose according to your need. First is monastic deep work, in which you get isolated to achieve your goal by leaving everything behind like a monk. Like in the 1970s, Bill Gates isolated himself from the world for 8 weeks and made the first version of BASIC. That coding becomes a Microsoft-based program later. Obviously, by letting everything like a monk, and going to work for a goal is possible for very few people. But if you can do this, then you will get a big advantage. The second is bimodal deep work. This means working by the monastic approach sometimes and living normal life the rest of the time. This approach is for those who can't keep themselves away from the world. Like J.K. Rowling was facing so much distraction at home to finish the last book of Harry Potter. Because she was troubled by the barking of dogs, the noise of children and many other distractions. That's why she followed this bimodal approach. When she had to work on her book, then she used to write in the hotel away from the internet and people. And later came home and lived a normal life. You can also do the same. To work on any project, get out of contact for 2 hours. And when your work is completed, then come and live a normal life. The third is rhythmic deep work. The basic idea of this approach is to build a habit of deep work on the rhythmic base in your life. So in this, you have to fix a time that you will do deep work every day at this time. And shallow work is fine for the others' time. And last is journalistic deep work. If you are busy the whole day, then you can follow this approach. In this, like a journalist, when you get the free time, it may be half an hour, then you do deep work. Like when you know, today you will be free from 3 to 3:30. Then close your phone at that time and go to some isolated place and do your work. This technique is also used by the author. When he gets time, then according to his schedule he works in deep mode on that time or that day. Means doing deep work with fully customizable and according to your situation. An extreme example of this is Peter Shankman. When Peter had to write a manuscript of a book, then he followed a different and powerful idea, and booked a round-trip business class flight from America to Tokyo, because no one can disturb him there. And after working 30 hours with full concentration, he completed that script. He had to pay the cost of doing deep work at the height of 30,000 feet. But the quality of work he produces there, the cost was nothing before that. So these are the different types to do deep work. But the principle is the same, that work distraction-free. You can also start doing deep work by using any technique out of these four according to your need. And if I summarize all the things that I have learned, work is mainly of two types: deep work and shallow work, in which deep work is valuable and rare. Deep work can be done by mainly four ways. That is a monastic, bimodal, rhythmic, and journalistic approach. In this 21st century, if you have the ability to do deep work without distraction, then you can also produce world-class work, like Bill Gates and J.K. Rowling. Now, these are all things I have learned from Cal Newport's book, Deep Work. That's really awesome. If you want to know more about deep work, then you must read this book. Thank you.